Hey everybody, I just wanted to make a video to talk about some acupressure points that you can do at home to help with keeping your immune system strong and keeping your body healthy. Um, as we all know what's going on right now, this is a great time to make sure that our bodies are working well and keeping ourselves healthy. So I just want to show you a couple of easy points that you can do at home on yourself. In lieu of being able to come get acupuncture needles. There's some very simple techniques we'll show you real quick and some of the major points. The only contraindication I want to mention real quick before I forget is if you're pregnant, probably shouldn't do these points. Some of them are indicated for labor induction and things like that. So if that is the case for you, just give me a message and I'll give you a couple other options too. But large in part, most folks, these will work great. So the first point is a point called stomach 36 or Li, and it's one of the major points used in acupuncture for all kinds of conditions, but primarily to strengthen the stomach and the spleen. It tonifies the body's qi, the body's wei qi, which is its defensive qi, and helps to keep the digestive system operating well. So in both Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, having your digestive tract working well and processing food properly is what keeps the body from producing dampness and kapha or ama. There's some terms that are sometimes used for these cases. So aside from the foods that we eat, we can do acupressure to help keeping the GI tract functioning well. So I'll show you on my leg here. Stomach 36. You can also look it up online, and there's plenty of stuff on Google and stuff. You can get a location guide. But the easiest way to find it is you take your hand and you want to get your four fingers and put them. You'll feel these two little divots just below your kneecaps, or on either side of your kneecap. And it's called the calf size. And so you want to start from there would be the level where you want the top of your, be actually like your second finger, your pointer finger, right? And then four fingers down from there, right along the outside of the lateral aspect of the leg. It's the tibialis muscle right here. And stomach 36 is at the bottom of these four fingers right here. So the bone's right through here, and then just over to the side from it, maybe 1 inch or so. And the best way to find this location also is you'll find there's kind of a little bit of a divot or a hole that your finger will just kind of naturally slide into if you kind of go over it a few times. So if you get that measurement correct, look for that little divot, and it can vary a little bit. You know, it may not be in the exact same spot on everybody, but it's right about there. And then you just kind of put some nice, decent pressure into it. You can use your finger, pointer finger, you can use the thumb if that feels easier for you. Whatever's comfortable is fine. And you want pretty nice, firm pressure here. And since it's a big muscle, it can take some good pressure. And you can just do a couple circles like this. Traditionally, you do it in kind of a clockwise direction. I like to do mostly clockwise, a couple counterclockwise, and then back to clockwise again. And this point has a really interesting story. It comes from the name Li means leg 3 miles, and it basically is what the Chinese soldiers used to keep the armies marching for another 3 miles. So when they would get tired, they would activate this point. So probably the most majorly used point in acupuncture. And then the second point is on the spleen channel, so that'll be on the inside of the leg. And this point's called Spleen 6. And the best way to find this one is to use your ankle bone as your reference point. Or the medium malleolus, sorry, not your ankle bone. Again, you want your four fingers right from basically the center of this bone. They're the highest ridge of where the medialis comes up. Come right to the top of that. Right here, basically right in the middle, in this nice fleshy area right here, is spleen 6. And this is a really good point for tonifying the spleen, helps to dry dampness, keep the GI tract happy again. It's also great for stress relief and things like that, which is another big component of good immunity, is keeping stress down. So same thing, I'm just doing a nice gentle thumb pressure, a little bit firm. A couple clockwise, couple counterclockwise circles. And after you've done that for a few minutes, each of these you can do for about 2 minutes each or so. We'll come up to the arm. And the closest point to this is called large intestine 10. And this one's only going to be, instead of the four fingers like in the leg, 3 fingers down. So right from, if you took the elbow crease itself, come down about 3 fingers. So kind of almost in the center of the forearm. And you want to feel around a little bit here. You'll find a nice tender spot. It's right actually on the radius bone. And once you find a good tender, I always describe it like a gummy bear feeling is the feeling I'm looking for. So it's kind of a little bit mushy but firm also. And it'll actually be pushing right into the bone itself. And right there for me is nice and tender. So that's the point I'm going to use. And this one you'll feel. Sometimes you'll feel it kind of radiating down your arm a little bit even as possible. Sorry, my battery's going dead. You may feel a little bit of feeling down there, that's okay. And these are also some immune points used by a Japanese doctor that I use quite a bit. So whenever anybody comes in sick or doesn't want to get sick, this is my favorite go-to point. I like this one a lot. So just a little bit of nice pressure there. I'm moving around a little bit because it's kind of a little bit bigger area in this spot. And then the last point you can do is going to be another big popular one. It's called large intestine 4. And you find it just right here in this part of your hand, and kind of drop dead in the center of that muscle right there. Again, it's easy to, if you find a nice tender spot is the best location, so they call those Acupressure points. And you just want a nice firm pressure. On this one I like to do pressure from both sides. So I'm using my thumb on the bottom of my hand, my pointer finger on the top, or you can do it this way. So pointer finger on the bottom, thumb on the top, whichever feels more comfortable for you. This actually feels a little better. Find a nice tender spot right there and just do some nice gentle circles on it. This helps to tonify the wei qi, or the defensive qi of the body, stimulates the yang in circulation through the body, which is another important aspect, moves blood and qi. So that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 points that are great. These are all bilateral too, so the same points will be on both legs and the same on both arms as well, so you can do both sides. So spend maybe just 2 minutes or so on each point, and that will do you real well. Work on the Jia tract, keep the stomach and spleen happy, keep the chi flowing, keep the prana flowing, and you will do good. Hope this helps. All right, thanks guys.